Hey everybody, I am MrGamingGuitarist, and I'm here to review Season 2, Episode 9 of Legends of Tomorrow, which was titled Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, it still sounds weird trying to say that without wanting to say Ark at the end, but yeah. So, I really enjoyed the mid-season premiere of this, and of course, if you have not watched this episode yet, please watch it, because there will be full spoilers throughout my review, as there always are. So, if you have not seen this episode yet, make sure to watch it before watching this review, unless you're one of those rare species of people that I'm very jealous of, and spoilers don't affect you. Otherwise, enjoy. So of course we're going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and of course give you my closing thoughts. So I really liked seeing Mick and Martin here together, because you don't really see them interacting too much, and so I like how they're keeping this secret with Mick seeing Snart all the time and hallucinating about him, and Mick trying to hide his emotions and him not knowing what to do. But then eventually, you find out that they have a receiver, he's got a receiver in his head that has malfunctioned, which is what was planted there when they were brainwashing him, turning him into Kronos. But now, but it turns out that no, he really was hallucinating. He really was seeing him, and so this is a thing that he is going to have to continue to deal with, and it'll be interesting to see how this development continues on. So, and I also thought it was funny how when Jax and Sarah were walking off the ship, needing their help, and then they saw Martin performing surgery on Mick, and they said, "What are you doing? Brain surgery?" Oh, well, shit, we can't use him. Move on. So, what else do I... So, we finally got an explanation of why Rip Hunter is alive, and it turns out he shut down Gideon while the ship was being blown up in New York in the 40s, and he just went out to grab something. I forgot what the exact term was, but it was like a time something that is the source that powers the Wave Rider or something like that was in the engine room. So he grabbed that, and it just instantly transported him to any time, and apparently that is a very suicidal method, and and it's very rare for someone to be able to live through that, and yet he did, and it seemed to have completely messed up with his brain, and it sent him to LA in 1967, where he is a film student. And I thought now this could have gone either way, because I heard about this before in one of the previews, that George Lucas is involved in this episode, and not the actual George Lucas. He is a character in here, a guy playing George Lucas, and it was very weird to see, because I've never seen a TV show or a movie where George Lucas was a character in it. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, we've seen Hitchcock being played in movies before, but never Lucas, and it's a sign of the times of me, even though, yeah, I make fun of it all the time. I am getting older. I am 22, about to turn 23. And now we're getting into that age where it's like a lot of these big, giant directors, they're starting to get so old to the point where it's like people are starting to make movies about them now, movies and TV shows about them. So yeah, this was quite a big first, and I thought he was the guy playing George Lucas. It's like I thought he did okay. I thought he did a solid job, but I never once thought, oh my god, this is amazing. Look at this guy portraying an early young George Lucas. I never once those thoughts never crossed my mind, but I was generally accepting of it, and it was pretty fun to see how him leaving him being not Rip Hunter. I forget the fake name. Phil. I don't know what last name he used, but yeah, he said Rip Hunter thinks he is Phil, and so he is using. So George Lucas is his prop master, and once our legends find Rip, they get into a fight, and it freaks out George Lucas, and it makes him want to leave film school, thus resulting in Nate and Ray just completely losing their memories, because that was an aberration, because him leaving film school, he became an insurance salesman in the years. Very funny how they said he became an insurance salesman of the year, 1977, 1980, 1983, the year that the original trilogy took place. And yeah, so it's all interesting stuff, but it was funny seeing Nate and Ray slowly deteriorate and forget their memories and forget everything. Ray no longer has his 4 PhDs, and Nate never becomes a historian, and he's a yoga instructor instead. I thought that was pretty damn good. So, yeah. So I thought that stuff was handled pretty well. It was nice seeing. Malcolm and Malcolm Merlin and Damien Dark back, but for the longest time I kept wondering, where is Thawne? And it turns out, nope, he didn't show up until the very end. But I thought that was really weird, though, how even though he shows up at the very end, how is even though Thawne shows up at the end, and then we see Phil pretending to be Rip, and then he has an empty gun, and yet he just tells the Wave Rider to fire everything, and yet Rip fuck. I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I've been having difficulties this past week making videos, being able to speak coherent sentences, trying to speak intelligently. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I apologize. Anyways, so we see. So it's so funny. Why the fuck doesn't Reverse Flash? He could have dodged everything, and yet he allowed himself to get his ass kicked. Speed being very inconsistent there. It's just a tiny ass minor nitpick, but either way, I thought it was cool how. But the one thing I like about how they're handling Arthur Darvill returning to the show, it's that they are showing. It's neat how Rip Hunter is now Phil. It allows Sarah to remain to be the captain, and to be quite honest, I kind of like Sarah as the captain way more than I like Rip Hunter. Because if you remember back to my season 1 reviews, I kept saying, man, Rip screws up a lot as a fucking captain. And I guess it's because I've known Sarah longer, because I've been watching her since 2014. When I was binge watching Arrow season 2, so that connection makes say, oh, you know what? No, keep Sarah as the captain. I like it that way. But anyways, and I thought it was so funny how at the end when Amaya and Nate and Ray were trying to decide which movie to watch, and then Amaya says, oh, this one sounds nice, Howard the Duck. I like that they snuck that in there, because Howard the Duck, a very, 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 very fucking god-awful shitty ass movie. But apparently he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, sitting there in the collector's collection room. So anyways, I really enjoyed this episode. Pretty solid, and nothing stood out too much, but it was very nice and enjoyable the whole way through. So I give this episode an 8 out of 10, and I apologize for this being late because I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and so I was trying to watch this before Arrow started, but now it is now the Arrow has been going on, and there's 20 minutes left of that, so that the Arrow episode review for tonight will be late, and once again, I'm sorry for that. So anyways, so I hope you stick with me throughout me reviewing all the episodes, trying to get back into the groove of reviewing. Like, if you notice, I'm slowing down, stuttering a lot, forgetting a lot of things I'm going to say, because I'm not used to reviewing TV a lot. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of it. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon for my Arrow mid-season premiere review. Bye.